This is Bobby C, and we begin our look at sports this week at a soggy MetLife Stadium where, although the results may not be showing in the box score, the morale inside the Giants locker room is still a good one as they make progress or continue to try and make progress. Start talking about taking steps and making progress when you're able to compete with a team like this that is very much in the Super Bowl conversation this year. Is that one of the positive takeaways from a game like today?
Definitely. I mean, you're playing against a Hall of Fame quarterback who lives in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So he probably woke up this morning and walked out his house and was like that, you know? So it's encouraging, you know, that we know we're able to be competitive. We know we can be a really good team. Like I said, we just got to find a way to win.
We're going into every game trying to win the game. We're not going in there trying to say, can we compete with, you know, a potential Super Bowl team. We're going in there trying to win, and I feel like guys did a great job fighting. You know, we just got to – they were the better team today, and that's the bottom line.
We have good practices. We put good practices together. It's just tough because during the week we see everybody working hard. Even on game day, we're working hard. We're fighting. There aren't many guys out there that aren't fighting by clawing, but the results just aren't falling our way. The only thing you can do is just keep grinding, keep coming to work, trying to get better, and finish the season off as good as we can.
We begin our look at sports on the NFL gridiron, where the weather outside is frightful, but the landscape of New York football is anything but delightful. The holiday season may be upon us, but the G-Men and Gang Green haven't given us much to cheer about, especially this past weekend, Week 13 in the National Football League. The Giants defense never really had a chance on Sunday in a 31-13 loss to the Packers. They forced the first punt by Green Bay with less than a minute remaining in the second quarter. By then, the Packers had already had a 17-point lead. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers then threw a touchdown pass with 12 defenders on the field early in the fourth quarter. It was one of 4 touchdown passes for Rodgers and marked the 7th time in 12 games this season the Giants have allowed more than 30 points. Add in 3 interceptions for Giants QB Daniel Jones, and you could see why we were here this morning looking at this result for the Giants. The Giants are now 2-10. All their latest loss did was reiterate what this entire offseason needs to be about, restocking a defense that is devoid of talent. Ohio State's Chase Young would look nice in Big Blue. First and foremost, the Giants need to find a premium pass rusher or pass rushers. Young would be a fine prize for their struggles this season, having now lost 8 straight games for the first time since 2004. The Giants did provide one feel-good story on Sunday in the Salute to Service weekend around the National Football League. The home team making some holiday wishes come true early, at least in one respect. Army veteran Raymond Lynch, who has been on the wait list for a service dog for a year, was given a dog named Honey and an on-field presentation at the stadium. Out in Cincinnati, the Jets were playing the winless Bengals. There's no way they could lose this game, right? The Jets were the opponent when the Miami Dolphins got their first win of the season after 7 straight losses, and they remained the opponent a losing team waits to see in Cincinnati on Sunday. The Bengals finally found their way to a win over a Jets team that seemed to have taken their season in a better direction with 3 straight wins. That progress crashed to a halt in a 22-6 loss that drops them to 4-8 on the season. The Bengals, who saw the return of veteran Andy Dalton under center, are now 1-11. The Jets' loss was pathetic and historic. They became the first team in NFL history to lose twice in one season to teams with 0-7 records or worse. A couple of notables from around the league. The New England Patriots had given up 4 touchdown passes all year. Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson matched that and made it more impressive by catching one of them. The Texans beat the Patriots 28-22, giving that defense the kind of working over they haven't dealt with this year. They lost to the Baltimore Ravens by a larger margin, but that was a running game. Sunday, Watson did it by air. The Texans quarterback finished 18 of 25 for 234 yards and 3 touchdowns passing. Speaking of the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, there is no arguing the best team in the NFL right now. It is the Ravens. Baltimore kicked a 49-yard field goal with no time left to beat the San Francisco 49ers 2017 in a battle of NFL heavyweights. It was the 8th consecutive victory for the 10-2 Ravens. The 49ers, LA Rams, Texans, Patriots, and Seattle Seahawks are among the Ravens' victims since back-to-back losses to the Chiefs and Browns. 49ers fell to 10-2, only a half game ahead of the Seahawks. 9-2 Seattle plays the Minnesota Vikings tonight on Monday Night Football and already holds a victory over San Francisco. Time for some quick hitters in motor racing. World champion Lewis Hamilton cruised to victory from pole position at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix on Sunday, capping another stellar season with an 11th win and 84th overall. The six-time Formula One champion is now only 7 wins behind seven-time F1 champion Michael Schumacher's record of 91, which he could realistically overtake next season. Bronx boy Kemba Walker returned to Madison Square Garden on Sunday, this time with his newest team, the Boston Celtics. Kemba and the C's rallied past the Knicks, thanks in large part to a huge afternoon from Jason Tatum. Tatum scored 30 points. Jaylen Brown added 28, and the Celtics topped the Knicks 113-104 on Sunday. The Knicks are in Milwaukee tonight. Meanwhile, the Brooklyn Nets are in Atlanta on Wednesday. The Nets fell 109-106 to Miami on Sunday. In the NHL, the Devils skate in Buffalo tonight, while the New York Rangers will take on Las Vegas. Puck drop is 7 p.m. for both games. The Islanders are in Detroit. That game begins at 7:30. Those are the headlines. Today we have a special guest in studio for our latest Sports Corner. Professional bull riding is coming to Madison Square Garden on Friday, January 3rd. Every event begins with pyrotechnics, explosions, and flames. Then the excitement really begins when the top bull riders in the world are competing against the fiercest bucking bulls on the planet, providing 2 hours of thrills and spills guaranteed to keep you on the edge of your seat. To tell us more, Cowboy Colten Jesse. Colten, thanks for coming on the show, man. Really great to have you here in the Sports Corner. Thank you. You know, so now you've been doing this for a very long time. This was a dream for you all the way back in elementary school. Tell us more about how you got into the sport.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess it was a family deal. My grandpa rode bulls, my dad rode bulls, but it was never like forced on me. It's just something I've always wanted to do, and for as long as I can remember, it's all I've wanted to do. So the fact that I'm here doing it now, it's I don't know, it's pretty cool.
Of course. So today, 22 years old. I mean,
Yes, sir.
still a very young guy. You know, realizing a dream. Is this, you know, has it really come to fruition for you now? Because you have a few seasons in PBR under your belt. Are you living your dream?
I mean, I am. Definitely am, but I'm still looking forward, you know, and sometimes I get wrapped up in that and forget to, you know, be thankful for where I'm at. And, you know, 10 years ago, I just dreamed about being here, and now I'm here doing it. But yeah, I'm definitely living my dream every day.
You know, we were talking a little bit offset, and we have some B-roll here for the fans at home and even those in the audience today with us. I mean, what an incredible sport, crazy sport. I mean, just wild to watch you do this, how dangerous it looks.
Yeah, I mean, the danger factor is there. I mean, it's, you know, it's always going to be there with all kinds of sports, you know, major extreme sports, but bull riding especially, you know, 1,500, 2,000 pound animal, you know, they're pretty unpredictable, and you know, we just work to try and do our job the best. That way we don't get in wrecks or anything, but it does happen.
Of course. You know, so walk us through a little bit of what your practice regimen is like and what it takes to be one of the best in the sport, because you are top ranked.
You know, everybody's got different work ethics and, you know, things they do. Me personally, I like to, you know, I work out just about every day. I wake up in the morning, hit a small workout, and then, you know, I might do some drills or go get on practice bulls later that day, and then hit another workout, you know. It's something I work at every day. I don't know, it messes with my head if I don't. So, you know, everybody's got different strokes, you know.
What's the best part of your job, and what is the long-term goal in the sport?
Best part about my job I don't know, it's just doing what I love to do. You know, getting to go to all these places like Madison Square Garden, you know, that's pretty insane that, you know, we get to do that. Long-term goal, you know, win some world titles. I'm not going to say how many, because I'm just going to try and win as many as I can, and then retire and move on to the next chapter.
You know, it looks like injuries have been part of the sport, and I'm sure survival is like the biggest thing when it comes to being out there. You know, tell us a little bit about how that process has been in terms of just staying healthy and surviving every time you compete.
Yeah, so injuries, I mean, obviously they come into play. They're pretty unpredictable. You don't ever know what's going to happen, or, you know, when it's going to happen. It's almost guaranteed that it will happen at some point. I've had my fair share along with everybody else, especially if you're doing it professionally. I was out last year for 6 months with, I had reconstructive shoulder surgery, and I felt like that was a minor deal. You know, there's tons of other guys that have some pretty insane stuff happen.
You know, I've always been a big fan of motor racing. You and I were speaking about this too. I just love adrenaline-fueled sports. But for the casual fan that's big into some of, we'll say, the 4 major sports here in the U.S., why should they go and buy a ticket to PBR on January 3rd at Madison Square Garden?
I mean, it's unlike anything else, like you just said. Yeah, like football, baseball, and basketball. I mean, heck, they're all great. I like going and watching them myself. But the bull riding, you know, it's completely different from everything else. It's growing. I feel like it is anyway. And just the show that they put on, and like the crew puts on beforehand, and then I like to think we put on a good show as well. But it's just something you don't want to miss.
I think it's something you got to see live. It looks like such an awesome sport to be part of, you know. Any final thoughts for the fans at home?
I mean, not really. You know, if you want to get some tickets at Ticketmaster. They're starting at $15. I think it's January 3rd through the 5th. And I'll come on out, check it out.
Check you out. Awesome stuff. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Good luck, man, too.
Thank you, sir.
That's your look at sports. I'm Bobby C. More open back after this.